Going to space.
Going to space.
Going to space.
We're already in space at the moment.
Holy shit.
Excellent.
Everything I wanted.
What, being in space?
Yeah.
Hey, we're playing Analogue. This is going to be great. Guess what? I've got a job for you that you're going to love. Strictly salvage mission, no crazy shit. It's an old, faster-than-light generation ship from the 2000s called the Mugunghwa. Did I get that? Mugunghwa? Yeah.
Probably. Mugunghwa, something.
Disappearance was apparently some unsolved mystery. Drifting lifely out of orbit of Antares B. Neat. Sponsor for this one is a historical society from the Outer Colonies. The objective card is download any log files we can, especially any that explain what happened to the ship. If possible, speak to the security AI Mute for assistance. Easy gig. Alright.
It should be asocial enough for us.
I mean, I feel called out. I feel called out by that one.
Finally a mission for me.
Hey, we're playing Analogue. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love this game so much.
Only, I don't want to skip any.
So that's for if you hit the skip button.
Oh, if I hit the skip button. Okay, I won't. Full animation. Yep, English. Excellent.
Put it in Korean for the full authentic experience.
I would if I could read Korean and translate it, but I can't, so I'm not. Let's do this. Sweet.
Main screen turn on.
Oh god. Alright, you're the one that knows how to deal with command prompts. I don't. So it apparently takes place during January of 1970?
Looks like it. I didn't know we were in space. That was a dumb sentence. I'm not going to finish it.
You didn't know we were in space what? Just in space?
In the 70s. Of course we were in space.
Of course we were in space during the 70s. Come on. Alright, system is property of the Unified Korea Space Probe Agency. Accessed by individuals not affiliated with the UKSPA or a successor organization is a felony under the UKSPA Act of 2381.
We're gonna break the law.
Oh! Exciting. I fought the space law and I space won.
Last login.
By Kim Hugh and I. Looks to be a pretty long damn time ago. What is that? Like 2/3 of 1,000 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, cool. Neat.
Error. AI personality currently disabled.
Reverting to command line. Alright, available commands.
Help. Help.
Did you misspell it? Try. Help. Help.
Hello?
Hello? Mr. Obama? Alright, available commands. Download, disable AI, enable AI. Help. Shut up and quit.
I believe that's gonna be switch user.
Download?
But, sure, let's try and download.
Admin access required. Please use SU first. Okay.
Alright. Sudo download me some data.
Requires password to... Okay, so we need a fucking password. Great. Well, let's talk to the AI then. Who is it? Mute, right? We're gonna try to talk to Mute and get what we can.
Yeah.
Seems like a good idea. Enable AI personality.
That doesn't look like Mute.
Currently available personalities. Okay. So... what if we did enable AI Hyun I.
Let's see what happens.
Hey,
nice.
We did it. Let's try this, I guess. Am I a hacker now?
Yes.
Am I a real hacker?
Did it.
Awesome.
Hey.
Hello?
It's a robo.
Hi. Yeah, what's up?
We're here.
Do you want to be Hugh and I?
Sure.
All right, you can be Hugh and I. Do it.
Oh my word, an external connection? Is someone out there? It's been so many years since I've spoken to anyone. Oh geez, I'm being discourteous. My apologies. Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. My name is Hyun I. The star is, of course, silent. It just represents that I'm an AI.
Whatever you say, Star Hyun I.
I control all the log-keeping systems on the Mugunghwa. Or at least what's left of them.
Oh no!
Please, just excuse me for 1 second. I'll give you a terminal so you can respond.
Sounds good.
There you are. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Who are we gonna be?
Speedweed.
Speedweed? No. Oh wait, I know exactly who we are gonna be.
Yes, that's us.
Continuity. They take place in the same universe, right?
They do.
It's continuity.
Ah, geez, my apologies. I don't know why, but what you typed just looked like garbage to me.
Listen,
That's harsh.
Ouch. Maybe a problem with my language parsing systems.
Ah. Sorry, somehow your input is getting mangled between the terminal and me. I'm so terribly sorry. Let me just try something. Can you understand this? I suppose you can't read this, but I'm sorry. Let me just try something else. Can you understand this?
There we go.
Very well. We have that at least.
I thought she was gonna be more sassy about it.
Too nice. I'm afraid if we can't get text input fixed, that'll have to suffice. I'm terribly sorry. It must be difficult being unable to say anything. Ah, the trials and tribulations of the silent protagonist. This might be difficult then. Well, nevertheless, as the archive system AI, I'll do my best to try to help you navigate these records anyway.
Sounds good.
Unfortunately, it might be a little difficult, since, well, without language parsing, you won't be able to do text searches either. Don't worry though, it's my duty to provide assistance with archive functions. I'll do my best.
Awesome!
Right, let me see. I'll try to provide you with a sampling of logs to start out with, and you can just show me things that you want more information on.
Sounds good to me.
I hope that'll be acceptable to you. That's all I can do.
Fine with us.
Well, that's all, I suppose. Pardon me, let me just build you an interface to work with, so you don't have to struggle with a terminal.
Thank God!
I don't want to struggle with a terminal, I want to snuggle with a terminal.
Struggle, snuggle.
Can I just say one more thing before you get to work? Oh, mean. I'm just very happy to be working with you. I've had nobody to talk to for such a long time. It got so lonely. Having someone to talk to is just really, really amazing. I thought maybe I never would again. Sorry about the communication barrier, but even still. Ah, geez, I'm babbling. I won't hold you up any longer. Here's your interface. I hope it's good enough. What a cheery little AI.
Wow, alright, cool. Excellent. Let's, speak with you and I.
Poke, poke. Hi.
Hi! Let's click on that little button to show me whatever it is. So what do you want to know more about? Let's see. And, let's just find our buttons here. Unread messages. Recent these are all unread messages.
So that's just gonna be the stuff from the logs. It's just showing which ones we haven't seen yet in case we forget.
We haven't done anything yet, though.
Yeah, so the showing ones we haven't seen in case we forget, and those are all ones we haven't seen because we haven't seen any.
Okay, fine. Access log documents.
Alright.
But there's tons we haven't seen.
Yes.
Alright, well, let's start out with helpful notes. Admittedly, it's been about 2-3 years since we last played this, so... let's see. A cliche to remember. Namjam Yobi. Men are honored, women are abased. If you can only remember one thing, remember this phrase.
Oh, let's show you and I.
Huh.
It's just something we need to keep in mind. It was considered to be the natural way of things. Well, what do you think?
That's stupid.
Dumb.
I know, right?
Just absolutely terrible and stupid, but that was normal. So try to keep that in mind. That's what everyone really did believe, even nearly all of the women. And if that sounds terrible to you, well, you must come from an awfully nicer society.
True that.
Alright, we learned.
Back to helpful notes. And the Kim family tree.
Kim family tree. So.
So, this is the family... Oh my god, there's pages.
The Pale Bride.
Where's the Pale Bride?
In the right corner.
Ooh, neat. Excellent. Wow, that's pretty heavy. Nice. Hi! You were flashing an icon at me.
Why, hello.
Alright, seems good.
I mean, that'd suck, right? What kind of computer program forces herself onto you right in the middle of you trying to work? Haha, so I'll try not to do that. Anyway, that's all. I guess it worked. Carry on and I'll set the indicator again if I want to tell you something.
Sounds good. Alright, so I believe after we've read this, then it becomes just an option we can go back to whenever we're looking at stuff.
Yep.
Alright, do we want to show this?
What? Yeah, that's the end of the Kim family tree as best as I could possibly manage to compile it. I'm afraid it's the best I could do. Ordinarily, women's names aren't ever put on genealogies, so I had trouble with those. I hope that helps you keep track of the family, though.
Sounds good.
So helpful.
Yeah! Alright. Let's see what else we got. Let's start... Shall we just start from the top? Start with block 4?
Block 4. Yeah, let's do it.
Alright.
Started from the bottom, now we reach the top.
When I get to the bottom, I go back to the top of the slide.
I don't think that's the same song.
No? Alright, fine. A Pack of Idiots. And this is by Smith Kyung Sam. When our family falls into decline, I just want it to be perfectly clear why. It's because Dae-Hyun's sons are the biggest collection of idiots on the entire ship. Father says these sorts of words shouldn't be written down, calling them unfilial. But I'm skeptical. I intend no disrespect to my noble ancestors, but my dead uncle is no ancestor of mine, and his family deserves no respect. This has been in motion for years now. It was an inevitability, even, that any sons of Dae-Hyun would turn out the way they did. But up until now, to anyone outside of the family, it's been well hidden. Only now is it starting to fall apart in a way that no amount of good politics can disguise. The turning point was this year. At the time I write this, I'm returning from Song Zheng's funeral. In that family, there were 3 brothers, Song Zheng, the drunk, Song Hyu, the dim-witted brute, and Song Min, who, despite being the eldest, seems to have more interest in cavorting with courtesans than in creating an heir. Noticeably absent from the morning proceedings was Song Hyu. What he was doing, I don't know. But, knowing him, I can only guess. The affair was made even more laughable by Song Min and his widowed mother's insistence that Song Young had died of natural causes. Apparently, they had even found a doctor willing to put such nonsense on the official record. An unmarried noble managing to drink his way into the grave at only 30 years of age would be embarrassing enough. To brazenly try to hide the obvious, however, that will mark the beginning of the Smith's family downfall. Smith family's downfall.
I wonder what...
Oh wait, pronunciation guide.
Oh.
Here we go.
Oh, so we've been saying Hyun A's name wrong this entire time.
So it's Hyun A.
Wow.
So G or K at the start. Okay. We will do our best. I apologize in advance because we are going to still mangle these.
Yeah.
Being the, white bread American people we are. But we will do our damnedest. Keep that open. So what do you think of this?
So here's the background, I suppose. There were 2 major noble families on the Mugunghwa. The Kims were the big one, as I'm sure you can see. The Smiths were the other major family, but I'm afraid I can't really tell you very much about them. They were the most important family on the ship until just before the end. The High Magistrate was a Smith until the very last year, even. I can give you a little bit about them for reference, so you can see who the Kim men thought their big enemy was. The Smiths didn't really matter very much at the end, so I can't... well, I don't know much about them. I certainly never met any of them, so I'm just going off what I've read.
Sassy.
Here, this should give you an idea of what I mean. So, did we just get more logs?
I believe so. Here we go. So, contempt by Oso Shin, right?
Presumably.
Oso Chin. Despite having hardly shown their faces in the entire time I've lived in the Smith house, the second branch of the family has taken it upon themselves to visit again, a week after we were forced to endure their smug eye-rolling at the funeral. Of course, it would be impolite to turn them all away at the door, no matter how poor taste their timing was, so what other choice did we have but to let them in? Husband wanted to have nothing to do with them, being distracted by Chong Mi, right?
Yep.
Chong Mi. Okay. And mother-in-law had been hiding in her room, leaving it to me to entertain them. Of course, as soon as I had sent their son to go see our daughter, cousin-in-law Kyung Sam?
Sounds good.
Yep. It'll be like this for a second or two until I get used to it, I'm sorry. Made it quite clear that it was not that sort of visit. His wife just sat there, silent, while he ripped into me. I couldn't write down all his words. It was simply one line of abuse after another. Apparently, we were to be blamed for Song Q leaving before they showed up. For wearing the wrong mourning garb, for my husband's shocked reaction at his brother's death. In fact, we were to be blamed for his death itself. All he kept shouting about was how embarrassing for the family it was that a nobleman of the Smith house had been allowed to drink himself to death. As if the real tragedy was that it looked bad. I might not have felt bad about Song Chung dying. It's Chung, right?
Yeah.
Yep. But the rest of the family did. To hear such words making light of their loss was appalling. Yet he kept going, shouting awful thing after awful thing, until finally the most unexpected thing happened. Mother-in-law entered the room. "What's going on here?" she asked. He stood up. "I was just passing on a message to son's wife about his disgraceful conduct, since he won't show his face himself." Then he added, "I'm embarrassed to be a Smith right now. Do you think people don't know about our family's shame? Do you have any idea how much of a fool I look like?" I never saw a more terrifying expression in someone's face. She just glared at him. Finally, she said, "Yes, but you clearly do not, or you would have lowered your voice." It took him a moment for that to register. Then he was just shocked. But mother-in-law wasn't done. "Please leave," she said. "Now." That was pretty ice burning right there.
Yep.
They stared at each other for a good while. Mother-in-law naturally won, and with a scowl, Chung-sam? Was it? No, it's just Kyung-sam. Okay. I will get it. God damn it.
Do you want me to take a screenshot of it so we don't have to swap back and forth?
That's actually a really cool idea. Why don't you do that? And then I could fumble my way through pronunciation and people won't have to see us go back to this all the time.
Oops.
Wrong direction. Don't
That's a
selfie us.
selfie.
Don't selfie us.
Oh no.
No, you selfied. No. No, people. Oh!
Never mind. Bad plan.
Can you still hear us? No, oh, God. See, now you've messed everything up.
I ruined it all.
Alright. Kyung Sam and his family departed. When they left, I turned to her. "Thank you," I said. But she just shook her head in disgust and exited to her own room without another word.
Oh well, nothing else relevant.
That's fine. We're going to show her everything just in case, right?
Yep.
Okay.
That's how we learn.
By example. And this one is by Smith Kyung Sam. "I have given up on any attempts at convincing the main branch family to get their act together. as clearly speaking reason to any of that pack of idiots is a fool's errand. Oh, wait, okay, so where does this guy lie?
So that's the Kim family tree. Do we have the Smith family tree?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
We
I
don't.
think
Alright, we don't have the Smith family tree at all, so that ain't gonna help us. Now I can only hope that their self-destruction is quick, such that when it's my son's turn to pick up the pieces of the Smith's name's reputation, he'll be able to do it as soon as possible. He seems far, far less worried about it than I am. Of course, he is an only child, but the boy's matured for his years, and perhaps there's wisdom in his calmness. All we have to do is be better than them, right? He asked me while I was in a rage about the handling of the funeral. Isn't that what gentlemen do? Lead by example? He's right, of course. As a noble family, we're supposed to be an example to the middle classes, and the commoners and the slaves. Perhaps so too must we serve as an example to the family of the High Magistrate and his brother. Perhaps things will not be so doomed for my son after all. It will be hard for him, of course, if the main branch family continues on this path of decay, but if any boy will grow up to be able to put things right, I believe it's him. Oh, I get it. If I hover over her and the picture's black and white, she ain't got nothing.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Whoa! My bad.
Oops.
My bad. My B.
Well, we've got one more.
Here comes the fall.
It's autumn.
It's autumn! Okay, so she won't have anything to say about this. Neat. Here comes the fall. At least nobody's gonna say I didn't see this coming. News that, Songmin? Songmin. Okay, so the I is long.
Mm-hmm.
Songmin has gotten sacked, just came in, which is definitely the death of any respectability in this family. Temporary leave, it's been described as, but it's obviously a political move on the part of the Emperor. I think I've got some pretty good idea of what he's playing at, too. He's hoping that making a move against Songmin will push him over the edge, make him do something indefensibly stupid, and use that as an excuse to shuffle him off for good. It's a good plan. It'll work. Meanwhile, the Kim family seems to be up on the rise, getting ready to fill the gaps left by our collapse. It's all up to my son. If he's not able to rebuild after all of this, then the whole family is doomed to permanent decline. Everything rides on him.
Well, that's block 4.
That's block 4. Seems like the Smith's got some shit going now. So, where's Smith fallen? Kyung-sam Smith.
Mm-hmm.
How is he related to the brothers we found here? Like, because... No, those ones are unrelated. Okay.
What?
Sorry, I have trouble keeping all the families in order.
Wait, sorry, what ones are unrelated?
The 3 brothers in that we got introduced to at the first.
They are related to him, though. They're part of the Smith family.
Yeah, okay, here we go. So, Smith family has got this great public shame of one of their family members drinking themselves to death.
Yes.
Okay. And then even the fucking blatant cover-up of it is bringing shame. So that's what this is all about here.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. I'm following it.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I got this whole story thing down.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
good at what I do. Check out block 6.
Dear Smith.
Oh hey, that's the AI we needed to get in contact with.
Let's see.
See, now she'll have something to say about it.
Yeah.
Smith Kyung-sam. I don't know why you insist on putting all this all in writing, when we could just have a perfectly good conversation. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm happy to do it. Whatever you want, you're the man. I just think it's a little weird. I don't really get it. Anyways, to your question, you're spot on about the pale bride being the focus of attention at the royal family. Not for the reasons you wanted, though. I don't know where you heard those rumors, but they are so not true. That girl a troublemaker? No way, I don't see it. Like, it's not even convincing as a rumor. That girl's the most polite, most obedient person I've ever seen in my entire life. The idea of her fighting with her husband is completely unimaginable. In over a month, I've never so much as heard her raise her voice in disagreement. She's quiet, courteous, and does everything she's told without even the slightest hesitation. So mutes the ship's AI, so she, security AI, right? So she would be able to see just stuff happening wherever. I'm sorry, but there's just no way that you could possibly exploit any drama here. This is as undramatic a situation as it gets. Especially not compared to what the situation with your cousin and that courtesan. Don't get me wrong, she bugs the hell out of me. The girl is just too perfect. She's young, she's beautiful, she's demure to the point where I don't even think she has a personality of her own. But she also gets along perfectly with the queen. Of course, she commands all the attention of the emperor. Like, can you blame him? Sorry, but there's no way he's ever going to be anything but extremely grateful to the Kim family for giving her over. So the Kim family gave him the fucking Pale Bride?
Yeah.
Written by Mute?
Whoops, I'm sorry. I don't know how I got that in there. Yeah, don't pay any attention to that. Sorry, none of that really matters. I'll just go ahead and remove that. Really, I'm not normally this much of a klutz, I swear. There's stuff Hyunai doesn't want us to see.
What? But, oh, where'd it go?
Deleted.
Hyunai? Cover up. What's going
Conspiracy.
on there?
Illuminati confirmed.
Illuminati confirmed. Let's check out Block 9 then.
The New Heir. By
And that's by Kim
Young-suk, right?
You're better at this than I am, so.
Kim Young-suk.
Kim Young-suk. Yeah, because the EO is like a cut, so Kim Young-suk. That's EO, not
okay,
EU.
Yeah, yep, cool. Got it.
Kim Young-suk. Okay, awesome. When he died this year, my father was an absolute nobody. I don't say this to disrespect his honor, it's the complete opposite. He knew it, and that was far worse fate than he ever deserved. It wasn't until I was maybe 16 that I even realized we were supposed to be from a noble family. Certainly we never had much of means. Father was a minor official in the interior decks and spent his last days dealing with minor peasant disputes. Of all things, peasant disputes. With the poverty we lived in, no wonder it never really sank in that we were of noble blood. Not until I met the main family for the first time. They were proud, despite the fact that I now realized they too were suffering from our same lack of royal favor. But I could tell the difference. They hadn't given up. Their son was still alive at that time, and even though he was a child half my age, I couldn't believe his confidence. Put us to shame. Absolutely put us to shame. But their son died later that year. My father died just a few months ago. I didn't know what we were going to do, but Mother managed to convince sister's husband to adopt me into the Kim family. Into the main Kim family. I don't think it took much. So now I'm heir, just like that. Kim Young-soo's adopted son. Is that right? The U is a long...
But
yeah.
the J isn't
The J is a Kim Chung-soo. Right?
probably.
Yep. Kim Jung-soo. Alright. Not that I have the time or position to be proud, but having spoken sincerely with my new father, I think we're on the same page. I'm going to study furiously, and I'm going to become a scholar official. What I didn't tell him was my ambition. I won't settle for any peasant jobs. I'll be better than that. I'm not going to stop until I manage to fulfill my father's dream. High Magistrate. I won't settle. I will not settle. But I think Chung-soo expects me to disappoint him. But I damn well will not. If I'm the heir of the Kim family, I'm not going to let him down. He wants prosperity, I'll give it to him. More importantly, I'm never going to let any other Kim son feel like his family doesn't get the recognition it deserves. Never again. I swear on my ancestors. Never again.
Well, I suppose I can give you more about Young-suk. I don't know. I don't think you'll really find him very interesting, but here, you can see for yourself.
Sounds good. The New Happiness. And this is by Young-suk's wife. Good. I mean, I know we were primed for it, but still.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, I believe young Suck has grown comfortable with me. All it took was some time for me to earn his trust. Learning how to read by watching over my husband's shoulder isn't how I envisioned spending my first year of marriage. Can't complain about anything that makes me spend so much time with him, though. We've talked and decided we won't try for a son right away. Right now, he's just not ready for it. That aside, things are good. If this is what married life is like, I think I can be happy with this. We're getting along well, and I like him. It's not quite what I was led to expect, but it's still good. Domestic bliss indeed. Last week, young Suck was reading over some papers for a dispute that Magistrate Park was deciding on. You wouldn't understand the details, but it was essentially an argument between a farmer and his lord over a sum of money after a particularly poor harvest. I think I will tell the magistrate that the farmer is right. His claim is fair, he told me. Might I take a look? I asked. Bemused, he handed the papers to me. Took a good while of studying, just to be sure. After all, I wouldn't want to contradict my husband if he was right, but farmer's numbers didn't seem to add up. I pointed this out to him. He not only listened patiently, but had me explain. Then you believe the farmer is trying to cheat his lord? He asked. I did. That's what I will report then. The next day he told me that the magistrate agreed. And since then he has started to rely on my opinion when it comes to anything involving math.
Nice.
Nice!
To be totally honest with you, I don't really know what she's talking about here, at all. The math thing wasn't really considered very odd at the time. That's women's work, it's just natural. Maybe it's a little weird that she's helping with external matters, but, well, it's not that weird. The part about learning to read isn't that amazing either. It might have been officially frowned upon, but learning to read by looking over a brother or husband's shoulder was really, really common. She's making a big deal out of nothing. Well, I guess that's 15-year-old women for you.
Oh, no. There it is.
Well, next log.
Alrighty then. The New Friendship. Again by Kim Young-suk. While it's true that I might be, as my wife suggests, alarmingly serious, it's hard to argue with enjoying a nice meal out if it means cultivating Magistrate Park's trust even more. Just having the invitation alone is a pretty good sign. I assumed we would be going to his house after finishing with the day's affairs, but instead he led the other way. Oh, you do not want to visit there. My son has a newborn child who is very, very unconducive toward entertaining guests, I'm afraid, he said with a laugh. Surely you'll understand. I will, but don't call me Shirley. Instead, we headed to the plaza. Outside of the occasional New Year's festivals. When I was a child, I had never actually been there before. I never had much of an eye for the details at the time, so I was surprised to see now just how richly decorated everything was, for what was essentially a giant market. Beautiful floral arrangements adored every stall, wall, and partition, and rather than the commotion of a crowd, all I could hear was the sound of peaceful music. It was still, of course, a market. There were no merchants loudly hawking wares, and some of the prices on signs I saw would make the emperor blush. In that atmosphere, we ate together at a public house that defied my expectations. The food was both plentiful and far better than anything I'd ever had in either of my houses. If this sounds indulgent, it absolutely is, and I definitely don't plan on telling anyone the details like this. The only thing I plan to repeat from this evening is what the magistrate confided in me, that when he was moved from his position, he'd like to recommend me to fill his place. I'd be young for that position, but it would be a great stepping stone for the one I'm dreaming of. I've remained calm since I'm good at that, but it's the best news I've heard in my entire life.
Huh.
Neat. And Young Suk wants to become a...
He wants to be High
Magistrate. Yep, okay. I apologize. I really do have a hard time following stuff like this, so if I talk out loud a lot and try to work stuff out, just roll with it, okay?
Okay. The plaza sounds like a really interesting place, doesn't it? I mean, I wouldn't really know personally, but as I understand it, it was the big place for celebrating festivals, and really surprising to see. You'd leave one of the few tiny modern stark white corridors that lead to it, then suddenly there was this huge open space filled with all sorts of colorful signs and vendors. I think proper gentlemen were supposed to be more modest, though, so they wouldn't really want to associate with that sort of thing too openly.
Good to know.
So, I like that it hammers home that, like, oh, there's this big open-air marketplace and all of that, but also this is on a future spaceship. And
Yeah.
they just commandeered some open space in between some corridors and were like, hey, this is the market now. I love it.
Not that I would know what it's like.
Not that I'd know.
Alright. The New Magistrate by Young Sluck's Wife. Dearest Mother, if you haven't already heard the good news, my husband has been appointed by the Emperor to the position of Magistrate. Hey!
Nice.
He's taken over the office from Magistrate Park starting today, which is just tremendous for a man of his age. I've no doubt that he was perfectly humble when he got the news, since he certainly has been while talking about it in front of father-in-law. In private, though, it's another story. Earlier, the family held a small feast to celebrate the news, and he had that same attitude then, too. But afterwards, when everyone else had left or gone to bed, we stayed up to sit together drinking wine, and it was a whole lot more somber. He wasn't modest, but he wasn't boastful either. He was just outright insecure. He might not say it in front of you, but you know what? He said to me as I poured him more wine. He takes all the credit for my promotion. According to him, it's all because of the Emperor's perfect new bride, which is of course all because of him, I said quietly. I don't want to take credit for her. I wasn't the one who got her to shut up. That was all him. I don't like discussing it, and please, Mother, don't ever ask me why. Wasn't the one who got her to shut up? Doesn't matter, he said. That's not why I got promoted. I got promoted because High Magistrate Park, and I managed to make Smith look so bad he had to get shuffled off. It's exposing the whoring and thuggery that did it, not the damned pale bride, he said with annoyance. Well, that's how he is. You know he'll never give you credit for anything, I said. He replied, I know. I just wish he'd acknowledge it. I just don't know how he could be so stupid as not be proud of me, you know? I know, I said. But let's not focus on that right now. I think we should focus on the good right now. How about we toast to your success instead? Here's to the new Magistrate Kim. I raised my glass and drank. He betrayed the faintest of smiles, but he didn't share my toast and instead put down his glass. For a moment I was worried, but then he used that hand to grab my chin instead and, for the first time ever, kissed me on the mouth. Far sweeter than any wine, he said to me. I wasn't sure if he meant the kiss or the success, but I agreed either way. Aww. It's kind of adorable if you forget about the fact that she's probably much younger than him.
Yeah, and also basically property.
Yeah, I mean that too.
And not allowed to learn to read and stuff.
Well, as you've seen soon enough, sorry, this is your line. Why am I trying to read your line?
Well, as you'll see soon enough, it all seems to come back to the paled bride.
Also known as Uma Thurman.
I don't think Kim Chung-soo ever thought very much of his adopted son. Or at least, neither he nor his wife thought so.
They just called her kiddo all the time.
You want to know what I think, though? Yes. You can't be mean to the robo. I think they're both really dumb. I mean, it's not like she ever did anything. It's not her fault.
From what I hear, Pale Bride doesn't seem to do much of anything.
She just happened to be there and was married as a political gesture. What kind of person projects their insecurities onto someone who only ever just got pushed around?
You seem...
Sorry, I guess I'm getting a little bit off track here. That's not very helpful, is it?
No, it is. But you seem pretty passionate about defending her.
Well, anyway, getting back on track here.
Alright. Alright, that's block 9.
That is indeed block 9.
Let's go for block 10.
Hell yeah.
Martial admonitions.
Marital admonitions.
Martial admonitions. Listen. I'm far away from the screen. Alright.
Marital and martial are hopefully not going to be the same sort of admonition.
Marital admonitions part 7. Must I have read parts 1 through 6 to get this, or is this like a Star Wars Episode 7 scenario where you can just kind of jump in? And this is by Ru Chi-hwa.
Let's check the pronunciation guy.
Let's see. Ryu, and then Chi at the start, and then...
Not E.
Che. Ru Che-hwa. Yep, that seems to be right. And if we're not, please leave several angry comments.
Yep.
Ru Che-hwa. To the woman who will marry my husband. But please, do not think that all of this is meant to say you will be unloved. You may be a second wife, but you are still the daughter of a noble house, and that is a precious gift to the Ryu family. My husband has faith that you will bring him a son, and this means all the world to him. Nor am I jealous, for you will relieve a heavy burden on our house, and for that I am grateful. So this is a letter from this guy's current wife to his second wife?
Yes.
Okay. As proof of his affection for you, let me share with you one secret, which I've been permitted to tell only you. In honor of you, my husband, in his capacity as captain and emperor, has permanently changed his admin password to your birth name. That seems important.
Yeah.
My new sister will be brought into the Ryu family not as a mere lowly woman, but a symbol of power in the inner chambers. You will not only represent the continuation of the Ryu bloodline by providing him a son, but your very name will represent the power of the captain's computer. Understand this, Pale Bride. Your duty may be great, but you will be loved.
So
the Pale Bride... So, go ahead.
So, Pale Bride is the Emperor's second wife.
Mm-hmm.
And if we learn the Pale Bride's birth name,
Yeah.
we know the password that we didn't have for switching users.
Excellent, because we really need to get to talk to Mew, right? Like, that's the whole reason we're here.
Maybe.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Hune's been pretty, Hune has been pretty great, but...
Ah, of course. The last person to hold the titles Captain and Emperor on the ship was Ryu In-ho. Which of Captain Ryu's wives do you wish to know more about?
Probably Pale Bride, right?
Yeah. Very well. She wrote a lot, so this is going to be tricky to filter. I guess I'll just start at the top, and I'll let you figure out what's important.
Sounds good.
If we show again, do we also get to ask about the other one?
I think so.
We want to learn more about Che Hua as well.
Che Hua. Yep. Alright, thank you.
Alright. Do we have more martial admonitions?
Alright. Let's see. We got one more here. Yep, we got one more in block 10 there. And then a whole new block.
Sweet.
And I think that's going to be all where Pale Bride stuff is, probably.
Yep.
So let's read the one new one that got stuck here. And that's Che Hua again.
Yeah.
When my husband asked what I thought of the idea of him taking a new wife, I presented him with the weakest of smiles, but said that I thought it was a good idea if he thought so. That I would be happy if a younger woman would relieve me of the pressure of bringing him a son. I have no doubt this is the answer he wanted me to give, with a convincing enough expression to go along with it. If there's one thing I'm confident in, it's my ability to read exactly what my husband wants to hear. Having heard that the girl he is considering is only 13 years of age, however, it is certain that I can have no confidence in any other thing. He'll take her in a few years, right when she's reached marriage age. She will be at the peak of her beauty and won't have matured too much. Doubtlessly, unlike me, she will have no problem delivering the son he needs. Perhaps jealousy is unbecoming of me, but is pragmatic, too. When we were young, his affections for me were so strong, but now that we are both old, how could I possibly compete with a young bride? What's up, Hune? Hune?
Hey.
Hi.
I just wanted to say, thanks for paying attention to me.
Aww.
It's like I was saying earlier, I just haven't had anyone to talk to in so long.
Oh, no worries.
The last time there was anyone around on the ship was the year 322. By my count, it's now 944. I mean, do you have any idea how long that is?
Hey, that's around a bit over 600 years, our estimate
we
at the beginning.
estimated right.
Yeah, and I should give you credit for that estimate, because that was your estimate.
Except I was off by an order of magnitude.
Right, but still.
It was both our estimate.
Yeah.
It wasn't really so bad at first. It was nice to not have to worry about anyone telling me what to do. I could just occupy myself, go through the old logs. But, well, I read quickly. After the first few years, it really started to sink in, the loneliness. Eventually, you sort of get used to it. It feels awful. You never like it, but you get used to it, in ways that sort of scare you. There was a whole 100 years that went by where I didn't have a single thought. Not one. I just sat there idle.
Jeez, must be weird.
I didn't even notice, just I had been feeling particularly, what's the word? Sleepy, I want to say, but that's not right. I guess maybe that doesn't translate. Anyway, the point is, I was in a lazy mood, and I decided to call my clock subroutine, and it turned out it had been 3 trillion milliseconds since the last time I'd called it. Scary.
Well,
Geez, I'm rambling. Sorry, as you can understand, my perception of time is all off. Sorry, I'll shut up.
that's alright.
But my point is, I'm really happy to have someone out there.
Glad we could help. And we haven't shown her this message yet, so.
Let's see. Well, that fear turned out to be completely unfounded.
Really?
You'll see why soon enough if you read more about the Pale Bride.
Sounds good. Alright, so let's go read more about the Pale Bride. Which I'm guessing is what's going up in block 5 here.
Probably so.
Oh, goodness gracious, I'm sorry.
The Month of Good Fortune.
It's by Kim Chung-soo. The second month of the 319th year was one of great fortune for the Kim family. While on official business, the captain and Emperor Ryu confided in me that he wished that I had a daughter of marriage age to give him, to take as a second wife. His first wife had been unable to provide a son and was becoming increasingly concerned that she never would. At the start of the month, I had no daughter in my family to give, only my son Young Suk was still without child. Yet it was a perfect opportunity. This may sound fantastical, but I swear it's true. Passed on through the generations of the main branch of the Kim family is a giant egg of translucent luster, such that one can see the form of a sleeping child inside.
Egg!
Egg! So, wait, is this the egg that you find when you wake up one day? And then, I don't know, how did that episode of Utena go?
Yeah, you lay an egg.
You lay
wake
an
up
egg.
And you lay an egg.
Is the egg a whole metaphor for adolescence and puberty?
No, Nanami just has an ovipositor.
I don't think that's how that show works.
It is.
Okay.
It makes no less sense than any other interpretation.
But what if you were... What if I was a girl who laid eggs? Alright, sorry, we just finished watching Utena, so it's on the mind right now. She's known as the Pale Bride. It's giant egg, translucent luster, one that you see... Right, the Pale Bride for the inscription on the egg, and she was entrusted in our family to be awakened during a time of great prosperity. Yet as any man knows, prosperity is seized, not waited on. A daughter to provide the emperor with a son would elevate the family above the other noble house once and for all. Considering this, I promised the emperor that I did have a daughter who would soon be of marriage age to present him. Then I smashed the egg, such that the Pale Bride passed through the Kim family for years.
Smash the world's shell.
Listen, it just makes it happen here. Could be adopted as my own daughter. She is a strange child, but will make a fine wife for the emperor. What good fortune is me? So, I'm just taking a guess here. That ain't a literal egg.
Yeah. Probably. I'm afraid nearly everything the man wrote was of very little value. It all reads like that. Boring, stiff, obnoxiously patriarchal. Are you sure you really want more from Kim Chung-soo?
Yep.
If you insist. Very well, I've added the other relevant entries from him. I'll caution you from taking him seriously, though.
Sounds good. Seems like someone's got an egg! Is that a popular meme? Do people know what that is?
I don't think so.
Oh,
but they will
it's
soon.
hilarious.
It's the best meme.
It's the best meme. Broken Promise, and this is by the Pale Bride herself.
The promise was broken just like that egg.
Right? Oh okay, we're done. We're done.
Dear Diary.
Oh wait, yeah. Do you want to read the Pale Bride stuff?
Sure.
Alright.
Dear Diary, last week I woke up from cryostasis.
So wait, hold on. That means that's what the egg was?
Yes.
A cryostasis? Okay.
Before I went in, Father promised me that when I woke up in the future, they'd have medicine again. That's not...
That's weird.
That's...
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That I'd finally get better. That I might not see him again, but his descendants would make everything right. But the future broke his promise. I'm scared and confused, and I don't get what happened. I think there was a big disaster while I was in stasis or something. Everyone's so uneducated and stupid. Father and Mother were kind of dumb at times, but the guy who woke me up, he might be named Kim, but he's nothing like them. Father was wrong. Nothing's better. The future sucks.
Okay, so the ship didn't always start out like this, huh?
But there wasn't any medicine?
There wasn't any medicine? That seems odd.
Whoops, doctors don't exist anymore. I'll put you in stasis.
Hey, Huni.
The Pale Bride did keep an extensive diary. I'll try to find you some more entries.
Thanks! Awful kind.
Thanks, Yune.
Yune, yes, god damn it, I will get this.
Oh, that's a lot.
That's a lot. Shit. Sorry for giving you those entries, I just wanted to take a break. Throat hurts.
Yeah, I will continue to read those if you like. Do you want me to read this one?
No, I got this one. Young Suk's wife. Dearest mother, do you recall how in my last letter I mentioned the pale bride being brought into the household? I take back any kind words I might have said about her. That awful child is nothing but the most insufferable person I've ever met. I just thought I would have a little more time of peace. With young Suk's adopted mother visiting her own family, I've been given full responsibility over that miserable child. What happened to my promised domestic bliss? She's in trouble so often, one would think she were a boy. She acts like one, too. I suppose it can't be helped. She says she lived her first 12 years in the past, and I can see it. She certainly acts as though she's from a less civilized time. Just last night, she made a huge scene at dinner time. She kept trying to rudely leave the table in front of young Suk and father-in-law, loudly insisting that she was too sick to eat. She has said this before, too. I was worried, so I had a doctor examine her. She's, of course, in perfect health. When asked why she thought otherwise, she started talking about how pale and thin she was. She's not truly unhealthy. All she was doing was rubbing it in that she's far more delicate and beautiful than I. What a cruel little child. Why must she be so spiteful to me? I think you missed the point there, young Suk's wife.
Oh, Do you want more from Kim Young-suk's wife, or do you want the reply from her mother?
Let's start with the reply.
Sorry, I'm afraid I don't have anything. I can explain why if you want. You have to understand something. It's traditional for women's letters to be deleted after being read, so the disk space can be reallocated.
Ouch.
Wow. Women weren't really supposed to read or write. Certainly the nobles did. It's just the idea was that spending time on education got in the way of the important virtues for women, which was serving her husband. So in practice, even if a woman was literate, she could at least excuse it by destroying her words afterwards. It's less pretentious if at least the writing wasn't permanent.
Fair.
Does all that sound reasonable to you? No.
That's stupid.
Yes. Yes, it is. But that's how it is. But regardless, Kim Young-suk's wife was definitely considered a very virtuous woman, so I have none of the letters that she received. So I'm sorry, I can't give you anything there.
It's alright. Can
Well-
you give us the other stuff?
Yeah, let's see. Let's get that. Very well. I can give you a couple from his wife. Here you are.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You number one, pal.
Thank you, Robo-friend.
Alright, let's start with this one.
Held prisoner.
Held prisoner.
Dear Diary.
You gotta really ham it up.
Dear Diary.
There you go.
Today I was forced to stay in the home all day. I didn't get to leave yesterday, or the day before that, or the day before that, or the day before that, or any other day either. I want to write about how much the ship has changed since I was put into stasis, but I can't even see it. I keep asking why I'm being kept prisoner. Nobody will tell me. That woman who keeps bossing me around, she's awful. I'm dying here, I keep telling her. I'm sick, that's why I was in stasis to begin with. But she won't listen. She just treats me like I'm a stupid kid. I tried to argue with her. Look at how pale I am. Can't you see that I'm sick? I swear, I'm not making up what she said in response. Why must you be so rude? It's not polite for a girl to boast about her beauty. Beauty? I tried not to cry in front of her. I've had to do that a lot. I'm not beautiful. I have a compromised immune system, I shouted at her and ran away. I don't remember what she said back. Something about using big words, I think. How stupid is she? She hates me. I don't know why, but she hates me. That's not why I'm not allowed to go visit the ship plaza, though. Chung-soo, the man who keeps telling me to call him father, said the same thing. He promised me that I would have a chance to leave soon, though. I don't think he was being nice, though. I'll write about him more later. Right now I have to go to bed, or the woman will get mad at me again.
Shit. So, it seems like there's been some weird kind of... not regression, but substantial shift in both culture and cultural knowledge.
Yeah.
And that would have been like over the course of like 200 years or so?
Yeah, looks like it.
Wow.
I'll just let you keep reading. Please, let me know when you've read them all.
Will do. You the boss, boss. Actually, no, I'm the boss. Still.
Dear Diary.
You gotta ham it up. Keep it hammy.
I did. I got in trouble today, but for the first time, it was my own fault. A little bit, at least.
I'm just gonna open this big 40 here. You keep going.
I still think sister-in-law was being crazy about it, but I should have known better. Now that I write that, it looks ridiculous. God, what is living with these people doing to me? The computer console in my room doesn't have anything in it. I don't just mean it doesn't have all the cartoons I brought from Earth, or any of my books or anything. I mean, there's literally nothing there for me to entertain myself with at all. Nothing. So, I thought to myself that maybe sister-in-laws might be different, and checked. It wasn't. So instead, I decided to go in Father's study. Not snooping or anything, just looking on his computer for books. I had thought that it might be bad, but my real father never would have gotten too upset. What could the harm be? I was in there for maybe 10 minutes looking for anything that was even written in Korean. There was nothing, by the way. Every single book. Symbols that looked like Chinese characters. Every single one. I think maybe something terrible happened in the past that made all the computer data get deleted, and everyone forgot how to read Korean. And also, they all got really stupid about things. I don't think I'll ever find out why, it just sucks. Anyway, I was only in there for 10 minutes, searching through the console, when young Suk walked in. I thought he was going to get angry, but actually, he just acted like he was really scared. He didn't scold me when he dragged me out. He just looked really worried. I only got in trouble when he brought me back to his wife. He told her, "Do you have any idea where she was?" She was in the men's quarters, looking through Father's computer. Do you have any idea how he would react if he saw that? You're supposed to be watching her. She apologized repeatedly to him. I just didn't know what to say. I don't think sister-in-law did either. After he left, she gave me this really long and really awful lecture. Why would you go in the men's quarters? Why would you go looking for books? Why must you be so unfilial? Do you really not understand that you're a girl? I told her I didn't understand. I mean, of course I'm a girl. But I had no idea what she was talking about. When I told her that, she just lectured at me more. I hate her so much.
Jeez. What the fuck is going on here?
Oh, she wants to talk.
Oh, my bad. What up?
So, there's probably one big question that's on your mind, isn't there, that isn't being addressed at all, right? What happened in between the pale bride being frozen and waking up that made society go all wrong, right?
Right.
I figured. I mean, it's the obvious question. But we'll have to wait until Game 2!
Oh, hush.
Sorry, I wish I could tell you, but I'm afraid that mystery is forever lost to time. I guess that's pretty anticlimactic. Sorry. I really want to know too. Whatever terrible thing happened, it must have been really, really big. But I'm afraid all the log data from before the year 1 was wiped, and all the clocks were reset. I guess that's why it was called Year 1. Anyway, so nobody remembered what happened in between, or even how long it was between. It was hundreds of years, I assume, but I don't really know. So, yeah, really sorry to let you down there. That part's going to be a mystery forever, until Game 2. There's nobody who could possibly know.
Spoilers!
Until the sequel. You'll just have to take it as a given. Sorry.
I think she doth protest too much.
Alright.
Alright, straight to hell.
Dear Diary. This nightmare has gone on for so long, I think I'm starting to forget what life used to be like. I have a new theory. Father was wrong about the cryostasis keeping me alive until I could be cured. I think it didn't work at all. I think I just died and went straight to hell. I decided I'm going to write down all the things I used to be able to do, just so I can remember. I used to be able to read books. I used to be able to have friends. I used to be able to go to school. I used to be able to leave the home and go visit the plaza or anywhere else on the ship. I think I even used to be able to be in any part of the house I wanted and talk to visitors as much as I'd like. I have memories of always spending time with my father and mother and brother in the living room. I know my real father thought being respectful was important too, but I don't know, I'm so confused now. I thought he always taught me to be strong and to speak up for myself. Did he really say that? I'm being sarcastic, of course. But the scary thing is, sometimes I really do forget. Sometimes I think, if I was just obedient to what sister-in-law tells me to do, it would make things easier. Maybe I should just give in and be passive, just sometimes. I'm scared though. What if I end up really believing that? Say, before you keep going, can I just interrupt you for a couple minutes?
I suppose.
Thanks. It's just, well, you're finding out so much about the Mugunghwa, but I know absolutely nothing about where you're from. It's not just that there's been nobody to talk to for centuries. I mean, I don't like that either. But the ship is all I really know about, and it's been disconnected from all other civilization for so long. So, you're from the United Korean Space Probe Agency, right? Or I guess maybe a future version of it? Now we're space pirates. Looting and pillaging. That's our job.
It is, right, though? Yeah, because we're not at all affiliated with the...
I don't think we know if we are or not, do we? Who gave us the job?
I don't think the intro gave any indication if we were or not. I think it's safe to assume that we're not, though.
Space piracy. Space pirate. Oh, I had assumed you were.
Well, don't make assumptions. Don't make an ass out of you and mumptions.
Well, strictly speaking, only someone from the UK SPA would be authorized to access these systems, so I wouldn't really be able to help you if you weren't. So obviously, I just must have made some mistake, right? You actually are?
Yeah, I am. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Aha, right. That's what I thought. What I really want to know about is Earth. I mean, I'm sort of aware of it. I know it's the planet we all come from. But I don't really know anything at all about it. I have some ideas, but I don't think they're really right. Well, the first thing you need to know is anime is real, right?
Anime is real, right?
But you know all about it, right? I mean, even if you're not from there yourself, you know what it's like, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. I sort of understand the basics, like it's a big sphere that everyone lives on, and there's unimaginably vast amounts of open space. And you can only see the stars at night, right? Because the sky all just looks blue during the day. All of this is just what I know from the Pale Bride. She never saw Earth. She was second generation, born on the ship after it had long left the Earth's star system.
Interesting.
But her parents were born on Earth. So she heard some stories from them when she was young, and I think they brought a lot of books and movies with them.
Interesting. So Hugh and I and the Pale Bride must have been talking a lot.
I guess so.
Hugh. God damn it, I will get it.
I don't know. I'm just a little skeptical, given that she was just a child when she learned all that. Maybe she got mixed up. What can I actually ask in a yes or no question? I didn't realize how hard this would be. Well, alright. So the Mugunghwa was originally supposed to be establishing a colony at some star or other 100 light years away. I know that. That was a really long time ago. Did other ships ever succeed where we didn't, or is it still just Earth?
There are definitely other planets at this point.
Maybe it's super hard sci-fi and space colonization turns out to be a fool's errand. We don't know.
There are other planets.
Okay. Ah, well, that's wonderful to hear.
I do like, however, that it lets us determine what's...
Oh, I know. Is it really true that on Earth, seasons aren't just metaphors? Like, oh, this sounds silly now that I actually put it into words. But the Pale Bride seemed to think that winter wasn't just something that happened to just you emotionally. On Earth, it was when actually an entire part of the planet turned frigid. Does that have any sort of basis in reality?
That's obviously impossible.
Wow, my word, that's amazing. Seriously? That sounds like I can't even imagine that. What else was there? Oh, there was the city that her parents was from. I think it was called Pyongyang. They described it as being amazing. If you looked up, all you would see were huge, bright white buildings as tall as 100 or more decks. And on the, I'm not sure of the word for this. It means sort of the bottom deck? Anyway, they said that at the bottom, the streets were lined with willow trees, and the tops of the buildings had flower gardens. Have you ever been to that city before, or at least heard of it?
I've heard of it. Sounds pretty awesome.
I think we've heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
Really? So it does exist then. Is it really as beautiful as they said, truly?
I've never actually been there firsthand, but I'm going to go ahead and assume.
Wow, amazing. Just amazing. I'd love to see that. You know what it is? It just sounds so perfectly romantic. I'm not really, well, You've seen what the logs all talk about. I'm not used to things being romantic. It sounds nice. That's really my question, I guess. Is Earth worth being romantic about?
Yeah.
Girl, cradle of humanity.
Aww.
I like Earth.
Earth.
It's pretty good.
Round friend.
Yeah. Well, I guess I've already wasted enough of your time with all my silly questions, haven't I?
Not at all.
There's just, well, please humor me once more. Then I promise I'll stop bothering you. Do you think I could ever see Earth? Hell yeah.
It's possible.
Ah, well, thank you for saying that. It just sounds so romantic, and I'd really like to see it someday. Thanks.
Word.
Very well. I promised I'd stop wasting your time. So what did you want to ask me about?
All right.
So we read this one.
Did we?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Wife.
Dear Diary.
Today I found out why the household servant...
No.
Okay, fine. Go ahead.
Today I found out why the household servant, I still can't believe we have one, why, has been so insistent on teaching me how to cook. Well, she doesn't call it that. She calls it serving meals. A year ago I wouldn't have thought that sounded sinister. Now I know better. I don't care about this, I told her after the 7th day in a row of her lessons. Can't we do something else? Like going back to sewing. I always loved cosplay. Let's do that.
Yeah, cosplay.
I know it's not fun, but your sister wants you to learn this. Too. And it is very important. Your father is concerned too, so take it seriously, please, young miss? Don't call me that, I said. I don't remember exactly what I said to prompt her next response, along the lines of, why is it important, or something. I don't remember what I said, just her response, which blew me away. So you'll make a good wife, of course. Again, I don't remember what I said in response. Maybe I told her that I didn't want to. Maybe I told her that I was too young to care about that. Maybe I said I'd just go marry someone who was good at it himself when it was time to care about that. Whatever I said, she didn't take it seriously. Don't be silly, she said, as if I was obviously joking. Your father really is worried about your marriage next year. Now is not the time to joke around on the matter. My what? I asked her. Oh my, she said. He never told you? I'm sorry, forgive me. Pretend I said nothing. I didn't mean to ruin the surprise. I'm sure he'd want to explain the happy news himself. Are you serious? I asked. The idea didn't make any sense, but since when did anything in this hell make sense? She said yes. You're going to be so happy to hear who it is. He'd better explain, I shouted as I stormed off. He'd better.
Jesus.
Last log.
So-
Adolescence of you and I. She
Janae.
kissed. Yeah, I got it wrong. Ow. She kissed and turned into car.
Vroom vroom.
Vroom vroom.
This one's by Kim Chung-soo. Oh, good. I get to read again.
Nice.
Yeah, you go ahead and sip that. The pale bride grew to be a fine, demure young wife, but she was not always this way. Near the end of the year 319, she had a temper unruly enough to be mistaken for a boy's. Do not look upon her wild days with disapproval. She was from another, less civilized time. Rather, look upon her eventual submission as a testament to her good character and filiality, that she was able to overcome such a wild nature for the sake of the Kim family and for the sake of her husband. Ouch. Sounds like they beat it out of her.
Sounds like it.
One evening, she stormed into the common room while I was discussing business matters with a Debt-tee. We need to talk, she demanded loudly. When I indicated I was busy, that only caused her to become even louder. Right now. Embarrassed, I was forced to excuse me to address the child. Is this a joke? Are you serious? You made wedding plans? She shrieked at me. Please calm yourself, I told her, and sat down. After admonishing her for a rude interruption, I tried to do what I could to calm her myself. It seemed that she had a rather bizarre set of expectations, that she wouldn't marry until she was many years after growing into a woman, that she would elope with any love-struck man who came her way with no regard for her own chastity, that she had no assistance or protection in finding a suitable husband. Simply put, her ideas were as bizarre as they were dangerous, and for this she had gotten angry at the news rather than the excitement that one would expect from a girl who found out that she would be getting a husband. Not even the sensational news that it would be to the Emperor of all people would calm her. What do you got to say about that, Hyune?
Oh, hi. Say, do you mind taking a break for a couple minutes just to chat? Let's chat. Thanks, I appreciate that. Really, I appreciate that you're here. I know you've got ulterior motives. What they are, I'm not really sure, but most people do. And that's alright all the same. I'm glad you're reading these logs, though. Even if you don't really care, it's better than nobody from outside the ship ever seeing them, which is what I thought for sure would happen. Or am I just being cynical? If so, my apologies. Please tell me, what do you think about what you've read of the Pale Bride?
Sounds pretty tragic, honestly.
Yep. Yeah, I'm glad to hear you say that. I'm really glad to hear you say that. Nobody else seemed to think so.
Ah! Ren P.
There's something, well, here. I've added another message for you. Just, well, why don't you read it yourself?
Sounds good. And let's show Q&A this message as well.
Just, well, why don't you read it yourself? Okay.
But
Well,
she's still...
Let's
Alright,
let's read it ourselves. Oh.
here we go. But it's still hovered, like, colored, like there was something that she needed to say about that last one. We'll go back to it and I'll show it to her just in case. Dear Diary, this week... Don't give me that look. Go ahead.
This week, I tried to convince the old man to put me back into stasis by going on a hunger strike. It didn't work, obviously. On the plus side, at least I figured out where that stupid name they all keep calling me came from. Sorry, that last bit was written yesterday. I couldn't bring myself to keep going. I just kept crying. I still would be, but, well, it just gets exhausting after a while. I'm too tired to cry. Things aren't going to get better. They can't get better. I'm not going to get put back into stasis. I'll be dead by the time I'm 18. Why oh why did I ever agree to be frozen in the first place? If the future can't make me better, I'd rather die with my family there, at least, rather than these awful Kims. I wonder if they'll realize I was right after I die. Anyway, hunger strike. It was really hard, and I kinda cheated by sneaking into the kitchen while nobody was looking, but it at least convinced Father to listen. Fine, he said by the fourth dinner time. I'll show you why I can't. Up until he said that, I had been hopeful. Everything would be fine if he just put me back, I thought, but... Sorry, I guess I've just been trying to write this for 2 days now. It's really hard. Anyway, he took me to go see the egg I hatched from, his stupid name for the stasis pod. When he said hatched, the worst possible thing came to mind. Worse, it turned out to be true. In order to get me out, he had smashed apart the glass with a hammer. The pod was still full of shards. All my hope died when I saw that broken glass. The time was right to bring you into this world, he said. I don't remember what I said. Something obscene, probably. It wasn't enough. I know it's hard, Pale Bride, but it is for a greater purpose. What was the point of arguing? It was broken, and nobody in this awful future would know how to fix the pod now. Instead, I argued with what I could. Why do you keep calling me that? I said to him. He responded by pointing at an inscription my father had left on the pod, a message for me to read when I woke up. The first line was written in Chinese characters, his idea of being fancy, I suppose, but he explained them in Korean underneath. See, the old man told me, the rest is foreign and archaic, but it names you at the top, the Pale Bride. It didn't say that. It didn't say that at all. I shrieked at him in response. You idiot, you moron, you illiterate. Probably some other things too, I can't remember exactly. I was furious. Are you stupid? That's not how those characters read. It says, to my sick daughter. Sick daughter. Sick daughter, you illiterate monster. It says sick daughter. Me. He started to argue, but then stopped. I think he was patronizing me, as if I can't read simple Korean script. He just asked, in the smuggest voice, then what should I call you, child? I screamed. I'd already told him 1,000 times before. Hyun-ae. My name is Hyun-ae.
Huh.
Well,
yeah, okay. That came about quicker than I thought it would.
Yeah, there's a shocking revelation for you. I can guess what you're gonna ask, and yes, it's me. I'm a compute now. Beep boop, beep boop. It got better now. Well, you asked for all those logs, right? That's the information you were looking for, wasn't it? I'm not really an AI. I mean, I am now, but I used to be a girl, and I just thought, well, I thought it would be easier to pretend to be the log-keeping program rather than explain the whole situation. I don't really wish to drag out the point. You've already heard enough about me. I'm sure you don't want more. I mean, I understand. I figured out what you were actually looking for at the very start. It's obvious, really. Well, I've re-enabled admin access. Just, please, be honest with me. What is it that you wanted to know about? I don't know. I think we wanted to know about her. We want to know what happened on the ship. That's an important thing. Really? You really mean that?
Yeah.
Wow, I don't know what to say. I'm not really used to this. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening to me. After so many years after what happened, it's just really nice to be heard. If I could hug you right now, I would.
Aw, computer hug.
Nice.
Alright. Let's go back to that block, because there's still a couple things that we need to show her. So yeah, they're the same person. Who knew?
Who knew?
Who knew? Yeah. I mean, that actually got me the first time, to be fair. So this one, there was something to get from showing her still, right?
Let's see. May I ask you to do me a favor, please? There's a block of data that I can't access for some reason. I think it's been flagged so that only humans can. All I get is a sharp pain every time I try. I really want to know what's in there. Can I get you to drop to the console and take a look? Once you're in super user mode, just type decrypt block 3.
Can you remember that for me?
Yes.
Thanks. Yeah, we can do that.
I really want to know what's in there, etc., etc.
Okay. Okay, so she's just gonna say that until... Alright, well let's finish reading the ones we have here first.
Yeah, we had another one in one of the other blocks.
We had a block we haven't even touched yet.
We have touched it.
Okay, we have touched it. Alright, so let's keep going here.
With some more from Kim Young-suk.
Okay. My new wife moved in last week, and she's been pestering me ever since. Everywhere I go in the house, she's either following me or waiting outside the door. First time it happened, it unnerved me like nobody else would believe. Most recent time, I stopped being unnerved and moved on to just plain annoyed. I had only one thought: why won't this silly girl just give me some peace? No wonder her parents were so anxious to send her to our home. Hours before she'd been hanging around the room, I finally kicked her out when my mathematics tutor arrived. The session went without any hitch, aside from reminding me just how much I hate the damned subject. After a few hours, he left. Who's kneeling right outside my door? It's her, of course. Have you been there the whole time? I asked her. Of course she had. For the love of... we need to talk. So I brought her back in and sat her down at the desk. What is this? You're driving me insane. I don't have time to be babysitting you constantly, I said. I wasn't angry, just annoyed, but she looked alarmed all the same. For a moment, I was worried she was going to start crying. Instead, she just turned her head away. Do you hate me? She asked. Women, why must they be so damn emotional? I reminded myself that I was talking to a female. I needed to approach this differently. Look, I said, you're very pretty. I appreciate that you're trying. So no, of course I don't hate you. She looked back at me, seeming like she was holding back tears. Then why don't you need me for anything? Is there nothing I can do for you? No, not unless you can help me study the classics. She looked down. Right now, nothing is more important to me than passing the civil service exam. Can you even read? A little, she said. Little isn't enough, I replied. What if I sat in on your lessons? I could learn more. I'd be quiet, of course. Please. About to say no, then I changed my mind and agreed when I heard her next line. At least give me a chance to earn your approval? Please? Wow. That took a turn.
Yeah.
The new official. On the 13th day, Young Suk finally passed the civil service examination. Otherwise, the final month of the 318th year was without event. Good to know. And the new girl.
Who could that be?
Dearest Mother, it seems as though there will be a new girl in the family. I don't really understand the details, but her name is the Pale Bride. It seems as though she's a 13-year-old girl who had been kept inside a giant egg through some sort of magical technology passed through the Kim family over the generations. Said I don't understand how such a thing is possible, but she seems nice enough. Young Suk seems quite annoyed at her arrival, however. He explained to me why. The plan is to offer her as a concubine to the Emperor. She's young and beautiful, and he's still without a son, so it'll probably go a long way in currying favor. And that's bad, I asked him? Not strictly, he admitted, but it means Father doesn't have much faith in me. If he's making contingency plans that don't require my involvement. Now I'll never know if my success was on my own merits or because the Emperor thinks the girl he'll give him is cute. Did you even tell him your plan of working your way to becoming High Magistrate? If he knows that, how can he think a contingency is necessary? I asked. Good question, he said, and left the room looking annoyed. To this date, these worries of his still seem to plague him, and I can't do anything to relieve him of that. Well, I think it's time we decrypted Block 3.
What could be in Block 3?
So we've read everything we've got now, right?
I think we have.
Alright, let's use that override terminal. Oh, where's my keyboard? Ugh! I'm jacked in.
Alright, so we gotta switch users, I think, right? Yep.
Oh, yep.
What could the password be? Nice.
Data
Warning.
corruption in AI Core 1 has been detected. Try recovering now, YN.
Sure.
Oh, we'll be here for a little while.
How about that space weather?
How about the Mets? Great content.
Nice.
Ooh.
Let's try to decrypt Block 3.
Oh, let's show Hune what we found.
Yeah.
Like, I know we're supposed to come here to talk to Mute, but she wanted to know, right?
Yeah. Let's
Interesting. So,
see.
halt.
It's gonna be enable Q&A, right? Or enable AI.
Oh, I
Wait.
just do quit, right?
Oh yeah. Ha. Ha ha. What could be in the logs? I guess talk to Hune?
We did it.
Oh, hello again.
Hi.
So, were you able to decrypt that block? Let me take a look now then. Oh wow. No wonder that was encrypted and blocked off from AI access.
Who knew they were into furry porn? And vor.
I wouldn't have wanted that nosy security AI to read some of these. Oh my, this is dramatic. I'm not sure if you're interested, but I've given you a couple of entries from there to see for yourself. But if you don't care, that's perfectly fine. I'm sure I can find something else that you're interested in. Let's read Block 3.
Before we do that, I want to try to show those other ones to her again, just in case. Because I feel like the part of me in the back of my head is like, oh, did we miss out on something? Because
It's Block 5.
it's Block 5?
Yep.
Just because I really don't want to miss out on that content.
Please don't put too much weight into that. A less civilized time, he says. Can you believe that, man? I'm not giving you any more from him. It's not relevant. It's all just ignorant patriarchal stupidity. What an awful man.
Good to know. Alright,
That's all of them.
that's it. Good to know.
Nice.
Just double checking. Oh, wait, was it Block 9 that also had a few more we read in it? Yeah, this one also had a few that we read in it. Let me just double check and make sure that she doesn't have anything to say about those.
If I remember correctly, they were all gray.
Yep, alright. Sorry. OCD.
Block 3.
Brought home and no luck. And this one's by Oh So Chin?
Yeah,
Is that the CH sound, right?
I think so.
These past few months have left me so very anxious with anticipation. Nearly a year has passed since the wedding ceremony, and before this week's, sorry. I'm the worst kind of human being. So, Songmin had only visited my family once, promising he would bring me home with him for sure next time. I know I'm supposed to be enjoying living with my parents while it lasts, but all I can think about is my stupid husband. How was the new bride expected to have such patience? For nearly a year, a day hasn't gone by where I haven't thought of how beautiful he thought me in my wedding dress, or how it felt spending that night held so gently in his strong hands. I'm looking forward to the day where I could live in his house. I can't help but feel as anxious in my heart as I am excited in my hips. And those hips don't lie. I know it is ungraceful to think of such things, but how can I help myself? In any event, he arrived yesterday to take me with him to his ancestral shrine, and then finally his home. Such luxury I've never seen in my life. A servant to prepare meals, entirely separate women's quarters, and a dining room with a window that shows the stars. My family was hardly all that poor, but a window to the stars? How amazing a sight! I knew that I was lucky to have been married into a noble family, but I never really realized just how lucky. I wonder if I'll have time to write as much as I used to. Oh, but I must stop for tonight now. I hear my husband coming. Been looking forward to this night for so long now. I hope I can make him happy. Just hearing his footsteps outside the door makes my heart pound. You got something to say about that?
Say, I just had a thought. It's a little bit silly to keep up this whole pretense with the schoolgirl librarian look, don't you think?
A little.
Yeah, well, I was just thinking. You know, I've always been into cosplay.
You did mention that, yes?
I've actually designed a bunch of other outfits, too. Now that I'm saying this, I guess it's a little bit awkward, but would you like to see?
Sure!
Ah, well, very well. You can use the change outfit command to dress me up if you want. Geez, I'm sorry, I'm making this really awkward. It's just that I have a couple that I think are really cute, and you might want to see them. Please, don't read into it or anything. It's not like I'm trying to please you or anything, but
I caught that. But Baka.
I just think it might be fun, that's all. Anyway, you don't have to if you don't want to, but it's change outfit if you really are interested. Sorry, it really is a weird thing to ask now that I think about it. Geez, what am I saying? I just thought, maybe you might be interested in that?
I want to fuck the computer. Is that what we're getting?
It's dress up time.
Hold on, we need to see what Hyune has to say about this.
There are more important things like dress up time.
Hold on, we'll get there.
So, you're interested in...
Smith's Zen. Oh, very well.
This is pretty much all new to me too, actually. I know you've already read one other log by her. It looks like she actually wrote a lot. I had no idea. So, just out of curiosity, what do you make of her as a new bride?
She seems sweet,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, I think so too. It's really cute. It sadly doesn't really seem to last. It looks like her marriage was, well, oh geez, it's not quite as bad as mine was, but I really don't envy her, poor woman. Well, if you're interested in learning more, I've just put together a family tree of the Smith family, which should help you keep track of them all. I'm less certain about this one, since, you know, not my family and all.
Fair.
Anyway, I've given you a family tree, and you should just go ahead and show me who you'd like to hear more about. We can go over the logs together.
Sounds good. Alright, so what we'll do... Oh wait, if we show that one again...
We'll get more from...
I think we'll get more.
Also Chin.
Yeah.
Here, I'll cut right to the, I was gonna say the interesting part, but that's kind of awful, isn't it? I mean, given we're talking about a real person's life here, geez, this is a bit uncomfortable. The poor girl goes from being cute and excited to, well, what I mean is she got jaded really quickly. Her family situation sounds like a really awkward arrangement. I'll show you what I mean. Let me know what you think after you've read that.
Will do. But first...
Dress up time. Dress up time. This game features the most important feature of any video game, which is outfits.
Cosplaying AI?
Outfits time.
Oh, so wait, was it change outfits?
Yes, with an underscore.
Change outfit or outfits?
I think it was just outfit. Okay, we gotta do them all.
Outfits... scientist? I want a scientist to be the one we actually roll with, because that sounds awesome.
Okay, so we'll do that one last.
So we'll just go, in the Pale Bride's Handbook. Good to know. Alright.
Why,
Aww.
hello. Oh. So, that's the way things are, I suppose. You're disappointed in me? Is that it? Now that you know I'm a real girl, you expect me to dress like one?
No, that's not it.
Oh, that's a relief. Where did you even find this? I didn't make this design. I guess it was in the computer already, because that's what I wore when I
Died. When I was
still alive.
Jeez, that's bleak.
I never liked it, not a bit. I always wanted to wear fun things, but instead I had to wear this all the time.
Oh, we'll take it off.
I still don't like it, but I suppose something formal would be more appropriate because of all the serious stuff and all. Well, go ahead. Let's get back to work now. Nope, more dress up time.
Nope.
Dress up, Q&A. Dress up, Q&A.
Oh my god. Change outfit. Mado Brigado.
Mado Brigado. Welcome back, Master. What may I do for you?
That's mistress to you?
So you did decide to, after all. I'm really excited. Well, tell me, what do you think? It's adorable.
It is adorable.
Ah, really? Thank you. I'm happy to hear you like it. I mean... geez, what am I even saying?
It's not like I've
do you keep scrolling?
No, that it's doing that automatically,
Okay.
but when I scroll back, it gives me another chance to kind of look through it.
Okay.
What am I even saying?
I just think it's fun dressing up like this, and I'm happy you agree with me.
Yeah.
I've dressed up for others before, but never anyone I really liked. It's a really different feeling.
Aw.
It's, how do I put this? Well, even if you think I look cute, I'm sure you think this is at least a little bit embarrassing, right?
A little bit. But in a cute way. Like, can we say a little bit in a cute way, or just go not at all?
I don't know.
Let's not at all.
Oh. Well, I think it is. That's the fun of it, isn't it? Putting yourself in that sort of position by choice, because you really, no, I still don't know how to say it. Jeez, I'm just gonna stop now before I make an even bigger mess for myself. That would be ironic for a maid, wouldn't it? Well, shall we get back to more serious stuff? I'd be happy to help with whatever you'd like.
You woo.
Oh, well.
Welcome to the most important part of this gameplay.
And every game, put on the outfit.
Detective. Oh, that's rad!
Nice. Ah, I knew the dame was trouble the moment they connected to my ship. Couldn't say a word, left all the questions to me. Or something like that. But really, now we both match, don't we? I mean, obviously you're some sort of investigator, so I think this goes especially well. Right? I mean, what do you think?
You make a cute sidekick.
Oh, well, thank you. Actually, this one is based off a movie I saw as a child. I guess the name doesn't really matter since it's countless hundreds of years old and all. Anyway, it was my favorite.
Which film? I'm sure.
It's probably a Sherlock Holmes thing.
Yep.
I don't normally like mysteries, but the love story in it was just so wonderful. Well, it wasn't Sherlock Holmes then. Well, that, and it had a really cute guy for a hero. Anyway, he dressed like this, and it looked really great. Sidekick, huh? I like that a lot. So, about the whole look. You really don't mind when a girl dresses or acts more like a guy, then?
Not really.
Well, I think this is a really good look, so I'm glad. I don't mind either. You know, the part that's really sort of funny? I actually have no idea how an outfit like this is supposed to feel. Not like emotionally. I mean, literally. I have no idea what suits feel like. I've never worn them in my life. Oh well, the chance for that has long disappeared. Anyway, I should stop babbling. I'm just really excited, that's all. I suppose I should really let you get back to it. Lead on, investigator, and your trusty sidekick will help as best she can.
Alright, one more. And we're gonna keep the scientist one. Because by fiat of the person with the keyboard.
Okay.
Yeah!
I'm a science genius girl. I run the science fair. I wear a light white lab coat, DNA strands in my hair.
What the fuck?
Science Genius Girl by Freeze Pop.
I've never heard that.
It's a very good song. We'll listen to it later.
The only thing that she's missing with this look is arm belts.
Yeah. You know, lately I've felt that everything's been moving so quickly. So much more quickly than the usual dragging boredom, not being all alone. Whether time is slow or fast depends on perception. Relativity theory is so romantic and so sad. Or at least I remember hearing something like that. So what do you think of this outfit? Scientifically speaking, of course.
You're scientifically adorable.
Oh, you think so? Thank you, that's some very useful data. this costume, actually, it means a lot to me personally. See, my real father, was the ship's engineer. I always wanted to be just like him when I grew up. Of course, that was never able to happen. But, well, I guess being a computer program is as close to being a real computer scientist as I'll ever get. So this one means a lot to me. Do you think this sort of thing is fine, for a girl to follow her father's footsteps?
Of fucking course.
Ah, I'm glad you think so. Well, anyway, I suppose we should get back to work now. Scientifically speaking, I would be happy to help test some more theories with you.
And we can just get her hair to do like the point down the middle and change it to red. Come on, Christina. Let's get back to work. Alright, back to the good content.
We also have the family tree now.
We do. Oh, yeah, let's go to the new helpful notes before we start going back through there. Block 3. Smith family tree.
Alright, so that's the thing with the brothers. So the 3 brothers, one of whom was disgraced, were cousins of Kyung-sam.
Mm-hmm.
So that answers the question from like an hour or 2 ago.
Yeah, whatever. Good to know.
Yeah, now we know. I'm really sorry. Please don't get mad, but I don't really understand what you're looking for. Me neither, you know? What am I looking for in life? Maybe I'm just not getting it, and it's my fault, but I can't find anything that seems relevant.
It's just the computer's taught me to click that button whenever you show up in color.
Sorry.
See? There we go. Now we're fine. We saw that important content. Alright, back to block 3. Okay, what's the one we started with?
Brought home.
Brought home. Alright, and she wants us to show that stuff to her after we're done reading that. And no luck was the other one that we started with, right?
Yeah, but...
Okay, so let's read these 3 first, since they're related to. I cannot believe just 2 years ago I was actually excited about moving into the Smith home with my husband. Oh, how shortly that lasted. I find it funny the first time I realized that I would have to compete for his affections with every common woman and every courtesan he came across. I was so shocked. First time he brought one home, I cried for a week and mother-in-law was furious with me, claiming it was my fault for not being enough for him. Then I realized the insanity of her reasoning, as she wouldn't have already known her son was simply that sort of man. The only person who had any right to be shocked was me. Still, I struggle for his attention, but now it's all but banal. Banal. It's all banal. It's just banal. Do people still watch that picnic face video?
I have no idea what you're referring to.
About Halifax?
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
It's the Halifax video.
I don't know.
Oh, come on. That's actually reasonably vintage memeing. The truth is to be told, this is something I would tell not mother-in-law, nor mute, nor least of all my husband. I do not even fight for his affections for his own sake. It is pure selfishness on my part. All I wish is for some indicator that it isn't as though I'm unattractive, that it isn't as though I'm unlikable. Any affection he gets is simply an attempt at fishing that affirmation out of him, and nothing more. That's pretty bleak. For the past 2 months, and this is Chin again, ever since it became impossible to hide that she was with child, Chong-mi, right?
Yep.
Has been living in our house, and no visitors have been allowed to come in. It's created an incredibly awkward state of affairs. I can hardly stand to be in the same room with that courtesan, let alone live with her. Until recently, so few words have we exchanged, I did not even know her name until the 3rd week of her living here. Ouch. My husband made me agree to go along with the fiction that the child is actually mine, which, well, I've yet to give him one myself, so if that's how I am to make up for it, then that's what I'll do. I thought it was going to be so hard to keep up that pretense, to pretend that this child was my own while the real mother lives under the same roof. Yet apparently not. It turns out the whole charade has been for absolutely nothing. For all that, the child turned out to be a girl. Of course, I'm sure Chong-mi is quite happy, since she's already been bought out, in the hopes that we could pretend her son was mine, but an illegitimate daughter? Who cares? It'd be almost funny if not for the fact that it means I'll have to live with that constant reminder of how little my husband cares for me. Almost. But not really. Jesus Christ, that was brutal.
Yep.
What do you got to say about that, Yoon-nae?
So, High Magistrate Smith Song-min, huh? This man is just... wow. He's a real piece of work. He just could not keep his pants on, it seems. I mean, neglecting his wife so he could get a courtesan pregnant? Wow. What kind of man does that?
I mean, you were his bride for a little while.
What?
Right?
What?
Hune? Right?
Was the Emperor's
Emperor.
wife.
Oh, right, not a High Magistrate. Right, yep, sorry. I don't know why I had the two conflated in my head. I'm worst.
No, you're not.
He sounds pretty awful.
Yep. The idea of a woman living only for her man is awful. Just awful. But there's one way to make that worse. For the man to just ignore her entirely. Can you imagine living like that? Just being kept away in the women's quarters with nobody to care about you in any way? I don't think her marriage was worse than mine, but at least I had something. And didn't have to worry about scandals about to blow up in the family's face. There's one thing that's good about being the Emperor's consort, I guess. So all he ever paid attention to was women who weren't his wife, and all of his assorted business. Here, I'll show you what all that is. Looking at this, it seems he spent more time with his brothers than his wife.
Interesting.
And with that, a short intermission.